Shift work. It's a reality for millions. Nurses, factory workers, parents with newborns, students, first responders, ER doctors, the list goes on. These irregular hours completely disrupt your circadian rhythm. But did you know this disruption has an incredible impact on your physical, mental, and emotional health? In this video, we'll explore how being out of sync with your internal clock affects you and your health, and what you can do about it. Your circadian rhythm is your body's 24-hour internal clock. It controls your sleep, energy, metabolism, mood, and more. It's finely tuned to the natural day and night light cycles. When you're awake at night and asleep during the day, you're forcing your body to operate out of sync with its cycle. And this has been shown to lead to serious health issues. These include metabolic issues like weight gain and diabetes, but also high blood pressure and cardiovascular issues like heart disease and stroke. Shift workers have poorer immune function, which makes them more susceptible to disease and illness. And they have more health struggles like depression and anxiety. They suffer more with things like chronic fatigue and difficulty concentrating. The effects are real and far-reaching. It's important to note that it's not just shift workers at risk. I mean, yes, people who participate in the gig economy, like Uber drivers who happen to have two jobs, are at risk. But really, anyone with a disruption in their sleep schedule is at risk. This includes new parents, frequent travelers, and students pulling all-nighters. If this is you, here are some practical ways to protect your health even with your irregular schedule. Number 1, light exposure is important. Expose yourself to the brightest light possible. Sunlight is best during the earliest hours when you awake. Getting at least 10 or 30 minutes of this bright light will help set your circadian clock. Use bright or cool-toned lights at work, especially at night when you need to be alert. And focus on dim or warm lighting at home when you need to wind down. Number 2, prioritize your sleep. Sleep in a completely dark room. Get blackout curtains or wear a sleep mask. And keep your sleep schedule consistent, even on days off, as much as you can. Number 3, eat smart. Stick to your healthy, high-nutrient, low-carb foods. Typical nighttime snacks and their empty calories won't be sufficient if you are a consistent night worker. Try to sync your meals as much as possible to your daytime hours. If daytime for you is in the middle of the night, this is when you should be eating your meals. Number 4, make sure to get some movement during those hours when you want to be awake. Exercise and movement in general is another signal to your brain about when it's time to be awake. And number 5, consider supplements for yourself. Melatonin can be helpful to help you fall asleep during those hours when you want to be asleep. Start with the minimum dose for adults, 2.5 milligrams. And if you don't get a lot of sunlight, vitamin D is probably a wise supplement for you as well. Check out my video about the 5 vital supplements you need for wellness. And finally, make sure to advocate for your own health. Express to others around you what your concerns are, what your needs are, and how they can help you. This includes your employer, who should be well-versed and well-educated about how to keep shift workers healthy. Employers can play a big role in supporting your health, but this requires them to prioritize thoughtful scheduling and truly consider your well-being above all else when making the schedule. It's important to speak up for yourself and remind them of that responsibility as often as needed to help create a healthier work environment. Here's how your employer should be scheduling you. As much as possible, they should be allowing you to stick with consistent shifts, meaning all days in a row or all nights in a row whenever possible. When these shifts change, they should always be rotated forward, not backward. And the more gradual the change, the better for your health. This means you switch from days to afternoons to evenings to nights in that order. If your job only offers a day shift and a night shift, you should have multiple days off in between your switch. This way you can begin your own adjustment at home. Also, night workers should not be forced to work in dim lighting. These are their awake hours. They're supposed to be alert. The lights should be bright. It's not always possible to avoid shift work or life's unpredictable demands, but small intentional steps can make a big difference in your health. There are ways to reset your clock, support your health, and thrive, even with an unconventional schedule. Your circadian rhythm is your body's natural guide to better health. Try to work with it as much as possible, not against it. If you found this video helpful, please like it, share it, and subscribe to my Emergency Health Fix channel. I'm always sharing more tips and tricks about how to optimize your health and your energy. Thanks for listening. See you in the next video.